because that shit's so hot.
But I mean, we can, yeah.
Wow, so many great things being said here today. My show, my demos are 50-50 men and women, 17 to 40. I mean, like, my comedy, it's not really like sexuality specific. I think that that's kind of how I feel about the whole show. It's not even like woman specific. It's just about being who you are without having to subscribe to any sort of preconceived notions of what you should be. Which it's in a kitchen, it's a domestic setting, but we're getting drunk and crazy. But I am writing a rap song right now about being a lesbian. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how like my you know, my male viewers. Well, they're probably fuck. That shit's hot, so whatever. But I wanted to say really quick that I think, you know, for people getting up and leaving, I think that a reason why there's so many views online in the web is that when you're watching something in a public space, you're watching it with everyone around you, you know, and so there's still that judgment. And with the web, we have this anonymity that allows people to be free. Like, you can watch whatever content you want. You're not in the living room of the house. You're not out at a play. Nobody's going to ask you about it. And you could have your secret show that you're really excited about. You have people coming out to me all the time being like, I didn't know I was gay, and then I started watching your show by myself, and I haven't told any of my friends, and now I'm gay, what do I do? And I'm like, you're in for a treat.
What would you say that the demographic is of your show, Hannah?
It's 50-50. Like, if you look at my pie chart, it's like half red, half blue, men, women. Maybe it skews like a slightly more female, so like 48, 52. And then the ages range from like 17 or even younger, like I have a couple really young fans, to like people in their 40s and 50s. It's a show, it's just a comedy show about letting loose, you know?
Great.
Yeah.
All right, let's give her a round of applause. Next question. Has your personal sexuality helped, hindered, or made no difference in regards to the success of your show? Susan Miller.
Oh, I mean, what? Oh God, what's the matter with me? My sexuality has made no difference to the success of my show. I don't think fans are much interested in who I am and what my personal relationships are. It has made, in terms of watching the show, it certainly informs who I am, and so therefore it informs how I write and what I want to write about. So in that sense, of course, it matters, and it does. But I'm equally at home and comfortable and happy writing the scenes between the heterosexuals on the show. So it informs it. But I don't know that it is, because I'm not the star of my show. I mean, I'm not the central person. If I were, as I was in a one-woman show that I wrote, and this is my favorite line for myself in it, is, I'm a one-breasted, menopausal, Jewish, bisexual, lesbian mom. Wow. It's a lot. It's a lot. And all those things come with me in everything that I do.
Is that your business card?
No, I tattooed it right now.
My sexuality helped, hindered, made no difference. I don't know, when I first started on YouTube, it was really such a great place for all gays and Asians to find our voices. I mean, there was a time, like
gay Asians, however,
of the top 10 most subscribed.
I actually like to call them Gaysians.
Yeah.
Well, or sort of the hybrid there.
Of the top 10 YouTubers, when I started, 4 of us were gay. William Sled, Chris Crocker, What the Buck, and Gay God. So I think it was really kind of a really exciting, great place to be yourself. And so I mean, I think it helps me only because it helps me more personally. Like, I think I'm more fully myself now because I've been so open. I think so. I don't know if it's hurt or I think it's. I don't know. But like I said, I do think how. But it's more my subject too. You being drunk in a kitchen, everybody can relate to that. I certainly can. But being a flailing 37-year-old homosexual talking about Miley Cyrus is not relatable to all. So again, I think it's more my content, less my sexuality. So I'll work on that. I'll do more drinking. Stay tuned.
And I want to ask you.
Yeah, more drinking.
And this is really interesting because even though Buck is gay, your show is not about that.
No.
But I do find, and I think you really hit a nice balance where there is something major in the media that really
still
strikes
ask
you.
me, it's like, are you gay, or is he acting gay, or is he? I'm like, oh, I'm a really good actor if I'm acting this gay.
I had somebody come up to me at a party. Oh, God, this just pissed me off, so I wanted to tell you guys about it. Somebody comes up to me at a party, and it's like, oh, I'm gay, you know, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, cool, blah, blah, blah. Next day I find out the guy is not gay. Yeah. And he was just like, and he called me, he like pranked me.
Because it's cool now.
Yeah, but then he has a camera. It's that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he has a camera.
The naked guy from X Factor, is he here?
No.
Oh my God, sorry,
No, it's that
off
guy.
topic.
It's not that guy, but I'm really excited about answering this question because I came out really late in life. Like,
How old are you now? Do you want to say?
I'm 25. So I came out when I came out when I was like meaning out to everyone. I was like 23, you know? And so for me, like, as somebody said on a comment on the show the other day, Hannah looks increasingly more gay, which may be true, I don't know. But it's really, really been amazing, I guess, how much more comfortable with myself I feel. You know, it's like before I was like sweatpants, sweatshirt, like I'm hiding, blah, blah, blah. And the second I finally accept that I'm gay and I'm happy with it and I love it and I'm out, then I'm like slapping on some pumps, wearing some skinny jeans, and just being like really owning every aspect of my personality. But in answer to your question about sexuality itself, as a former translator, becoming kind of like a
translator?
Yeah.
I thought she said as a former transsexual.
As a former transsexual.
Well, they said it was LGBT.
Yeah, here we go.
Thank you, Hannah.
So
Gets better.
As a former translator, I guess I never expected so much public attention about me as like a person. You know what I mean? Like people being like, you know, like reading comments and like, I love these comments. Please never stop them. But it's surprising for people are like, she's so hot. And I'm like, really? Have we ever met?
All of those were for my older sister.
Oh, okay. I'll take it. It's been an interesting.
Well, but Hannah, I think your show is interesting because your show, it has nothing to do with your sexuality. It's about this girl getting drunk in a kitchen.
Right.
So
This woman.
Sorry, woman.
Now
we are 25 years old now.
We are.
So you are fully a woman.
I am a woman.
I think you crossed
My
over. brain
is officially shrinking at this point.
I think you crossed over that. I think you crossed over that bridge when you hit 24. You become a woman.
Right.
So yeah. So I mean, so people are connecting with your show because they're interested in a person getting drunk in a kitchen, and it's topical.
I like to think they're interested in me, to be completely honest.
Okay, of course.
I honestly like to believe
Okay, all right,
it's not
let's get
no forced applause.
Okay.
No, but I like to believe it's about Hannah.
Sean.
Coming from scripted content, I would hope, and my sexuality has nothing to do with the success of the show or not, and that is, as far as being an actor, that's the personal business of my own. Now, however, I will say, for my own personal growth as a human being, it was interesting doing the first season of Husbands because we really challenged the stereotypes that are in our community, such as, well, Cheeks is half my size and a little bit more feminine, and I'm giant and I'm a little more masculine. However, when as the show progresses and actually in real life, it turns out that I have more internal, like feminine qualities, and he has more masculine qualities. And so there's this huge thing in our community, especially like when two people of the same sex come together. Who's the male and who's the female? Like trying to fit that sort of thing in. And so we really challenge that in the show, and we really look for, marriage equality means we're all equal, not just, one's this role and one is this role. And so for me as a person, I grew, as I would hope I would in my life, and I learned more about myself in that way. And then also my own insecurities about the type of acting roles I was getting, like on Criminal Minds or True Blood. I was worried that if they did find out my sexuality, that I wouldn't be able to do, other roles that I wanted to do. However, that is starting to change as well. So.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if any of you saw, but just this last week, Entertainment Weekly just came out with a really, on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, there's a huge article, and I actually haven't picked it up from the newsstand yet, but I did see it in a convenience store, about the fact of the changing game in Hollywood, and how a lot of actors who probably 10, 15, 20 years ago would have stayed in the closet, but they're making this seamless transition to, open about their sex. Male leading men actors.
The chaining tandem roles are still we can't approach that yet. But the other it's not like a big 5 years ago Neil Patrick Harris cover magazine, that's Lance Bass, that was then. The way people are coming out now is through, they're just kind of feeding it in through an interview, it's like an afterthought. So people aren't really caring anymore that people are coming out, and it's really starting to shift at such a rapid pace as well. They're calling it the glass closet now. People like Anderson Cooper, or whoever else is whatever.
Anderson Cooper is totally straight, Sean.
Jodie Foster, Kevin Spacey, blah blah blah. All these people who are out to friends and industry folk, but the media just doesn't go there with it. It's like an unspoken thing that they do, and everybody knows that they're gay.
All right, we need to move on. Is that good? You want to find out?
Just quick. One of the things we did on our show, and it is affected by the fact that both Tina and I are gay. We're not a couple, just writing partners, but. Is that we had a fantasy sequence, and the two 16-year-olds turn up. Well, one is wearing a shirt that says "Nobody knows I'm a lesbian" in her fantasy, and everybody's staring at her and looking at her. And finally in the cafeteria, she just says, "Oh, I like girls. What the fuck is the big deal?" And at that moment, her girlfriend comes in a wedding dress, and then suddenly she looks at herself again, and she's in a wedding dress, and the teacher performs the ceremony. And it is a fantasy of the future. But it isn't a fantasy now. And because we experience in our own lives, we're able to at least treat that with humor, because we're allowed. You can make fun of yourself with humor, and at the same time with respect for what people are going through. Thanks.
Moving on. Do you believe that the LGBT community is more actively involved in new media than their heterosexual counterparts? Do you find, so another way to phrase that question is, do you find that your gay fans are more likely to comment, engage with you than say your...
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like it kind of depends. I think it's interesting. Here we have me and Buck both have, shows that have nothing to do with the fact that we're gay. We are gay. I also have a freckle on my arm. I have blue eyes, whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I find that, what I really like is that the support and the love that comes through from people who don't know I'm gay and then find out I'm gay. I got an email from this guy. He's like a Midwestern dad, and he's on leave from Afghanistan, and he was like, I watched your show all the time when I was abroad, and then anyway I came here and I found out that you were gay. I was talking blah blah blah, and I'm like, and here comes the punch to the gut, right? And he goes and I was really pleased by how much it didn't matter to me. Keep it up, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, that's great, that's awesome.
And this is sort of getting back to what we were talking about earlier, Buck. How often do you address your personal sexuality in your show? Because let me finish. Sorry, I know you're ready to jump in. Because I think, especially for you, Buck, I think you do a really good job. Your show is about giving adoration to Miley Cyrus. It's about amongst other things.
Have you watched my videos? Is that the right word?
Okay, maybe not adoration.
Yeah.
But I think constructive criticism can be a form of adoration at some level.
She loves my videos. She does.
Does she? So I mean, but I've often seen, especially when stuff is happening out in the real world, things happening in North Carolina, things, stuff coming down from the Senate and, from the government, where you have taken a pause and you've made a personal video. I've seen that once or twice a year from you when stuff's happening, and you do address that. So do you want to speak specifically about what that's like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, my show, I definitely just want it to be celebrity news and just funny, but when major things happen and gay marriages pass, or one in the North Carolina thing, it happens twice a year, that I'm just I need to make a whole video and just kind of remind people, because I don't want to do it, I make 3 videos a week, I don't need to, because straight people don't say I'm straight every day. So I have
that
no...
is exactly how I feel.
I have no interest in it. It just doesn't matter. Literally, maybe like once a month, if I'm making a joke or a little joke about a One Direction person, then I'll be like, oh my God. But, they're so cute. Right, but it's just more like I do that about a girl, like, oh my God, she looks so pretty. So, I mean, the folk, I literally throw in that I'm gay, even though I'm clearly gay, very, very rarely as scripted during What the Buck. But yes, when something comes up, I do want to stop, because I know I have a large audience of young people, and many of them over the years have written me very long letters. I am the first gay person they ever saw, and that means a lot to me, and I'm very happy to be that person. So I do, when things happen that are significant, I do want to just, stop and just acknowledge, yes, I am gay, yes, I am married, yes, it's not a big deal that I'm gay. I've always been a very happy person. I really never struggled with being gay, and I've always enjoyed my life and myself, and so I just think it's important to just remind people that, we don't have to struggle. I want to tell kids, it's like, it's okay to be happy and enjoy your life, and you don't have to like break down crying and tell your parents, I'm gay. Just tell them I'm gay. It's okay. And then, so I do, when big things come up, I like to address them, and that's all. I'm rambling. I'm just thinking, and you're all so cute. Hey guys.
Excellent. Well put. I feel like, coming to think of it, I feel like it's almost an issue I don't really want to, this is going to sound wrong. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it here, in a community, being like, hey, we're a member of this community, let's talk about being gay, or let's share, our personal stories and accounts of being gay. But out there, in the media, in the mainstream, I in no way, I'm a big lesbian YouTuber. You know what I mean? There's been people that are like, oh, you should, you could really push the gay factor. When traditional's coming along, trying to scoop you up and take you somewhere, they're like, cool, you'll be like this gay, gay. And I'm like, oh my God, no, I'm Hannah. I'm just fucking Hannah. Relax. Yeah.
And in real life, I've never been to a pride event because I tell people I have pride every day. I do. I don't judge people who
I just don't like parades.
I love that people go to pride parades, and I understand what they do, especially because a group that's been oppressed. It's great to go out there and do these things and march and be visible. But I've never felt the need to, because like I said, I felt proud of myself every single day, so I just didn't feel the need to put on a Speedo and put a flag. I'm proud every day.
Here's what I feel responsible for as a writer. It'd be different if I were performing a show, but is through the stories. My responsibility is through the characters and presenting them as real people with flaws and struggles and funny things, and we had to deal with a coming out scene on the show, and they're always a coming out story and things, and we just wanted to do it in a different way. But the very first episode, we show the character of Vivian who's moving out of the city, kiss her girlfriend, asked her goodbye, and her father sees it, never says a thing about it. And that's so subtle.
I love subtle like that. That's important.
But it says something.
It does. But I do feel compelled to share this. My family is totally homophobic. My coming out experience sucked. It was really, really bad. So it's it does still happen. It's not super, super great, but at the same time, what it did teach me is just oh wow, so I really have to take care of myself, and I really have to love myself and be proud every day. Pride comes from within, and so that's my statement.
I think that people who know our show, and I've written many other things that have nothing to do with that, but people who know this show do know that the creators happen to be gay or bisexual or whatever. They know that, so it does matter. But the most important thing that matters, in my experience with the web and the question about, do more gay people watch the web? I think it's more inviting. The door is open wider for gay people to watch shows on the web. But I think we want we just want people to watch. But I think there's another scene in the show where people don't accept this person for being gay, and you've got to present it. You have to present it all, and we do get many, many letters like you. People go through a rough experience. I didn't have that rough experience because I came to it a different way. Mm-hmm. I was married. I was, in love with a boy, and then I was in love with a girl, and then my life's not over. Who knows? But no, I'm very happy with my partner of 18 years.
But But right now, I feel like I have so many, and there's so many people who are doing so well, and I just want to, Tyler Oakley is one of my role models. Tyler is such a great example of somebody who uses his voice, and he's a great role model for all young gay people. So Tyler, definitely.